So we're here in Brighton today with the Stand Up to Anti-Semitism rally, is that correct?
No, it's actually we're the Sussex Friends of Israel.
Sussex Friends of Israel, I do apologise.
And we have another group now called the Jewish and Proud. And the Sussex Friends of Israel have been here we've been here every fortnight for the last 12 or 13 years. And our initial aim, before it became very politicised and quite bitter after October the 7th, 23, our original aim was to hand out pamphlets giving good news stories about Israel, telling people what Israel contributes to the world, which is a considerable amount. October the 7th, 23 changed the agenda rather, and we've become much more it's become much more argumentative. You know, there's been a lot more thrown at us. The latest one is genocide and apartheid and baby killer. It's become a lot more unpleasant and vindictive. But our agenda stays the same. We're here every fortnight. We stand up for Israel. We try and make the case for Israel, which obviously we think is 100% case. You know, justified. Their existence doesn't really need to be justified. We're a mixture of atheists, Christians, agnostics, and of course Jewish people.
Yeah. Are there many Jewish people here, or is it just predominantly, like you say, just a mixture of people who just care about the Israel cause?
Well, yes, there are. There didn't used to be many, but since the foundation of Jewish and Proud, which came after October the 7th, 23, yeah, I'd say it's about half and half now. But the thing that unites us, of course, is our support of Jewish people and the support of Israel. Sorry, I'm just a little distracted by. I think they're being positive.
I think they said shalom, which means peace. Is that right?
It means shalom. Yes.
Is that right? Is it peace?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Shalom means peace.
I just heard them shout shalom.
Yeah, they're. It's lovely.
So they're all right then.
It's lovely. Well, we don't. I mean, obviously, it's lovely when people support us.
Of course,
that's wonderful.
Of course.
But as long as people are reasonable and polite, we don't mind having conversations. We don't mind having debate. It can be heated debate as long as it's respectful. I mean, you know, you don't expect everybody to think the same thing and agree. But unfortunately, the reason why you have the police over there, and we can't do this anymore without a police presence, which shows you what the impact of October the 7th has been.
Could you just hold that for one
Yes,
second? I'm just going to have to pick.
Yeah,
I just have to pick Marshall up because he's fidgety. He wants to have a little say.
He wants to have a word.
He does, yeah. So now, actually, it's an interesting thing that you mentioned about respect and talking, because I see a lot of debates online, and it turns very quickly into, as you say, insults, baby killer. As soon as you say anything remotely positive about Israel, it's you're a baby killer, which I think is a bit bizarre considering that on October the 7th, there were lots of babies killed by Hamas.
But I think what you're talking about there is sort of the polarization of politics and opinions in our society, and I don't think it's just over this one issue of Israel and the Palestinians, which has become horribly polarized, but I see it in the wider political scenario, don't you? I mean, you know, if you're a member of the Labour Party or anywhere on the left now, you hate everyone else is far right, and we hate the far right, and you're all fascist. There's no coming together and working together and mutual respect. And I think our politicians could set the tone, a better tone than they do. And
it's almost like in politics, it's like a football team, isn't it? You, like, as you say, you know, you've got your football team, and regardless of whether your football team scores the goal or doesn't score the goal, or in the case of a political party or political ideology, whether they do the right thing or don't do the wrong thing, you've still got to support them blindly. And of course, anyone that disagrees with you, you've got to shout them down and tell them to shut up. I'm surprised I mean, when I saw the advert for today, I saw it as advertised as an anti-Zionist sort of meet up today. It was on Stand Up for Israel. I'm surprised to not see Stand Up to, or so-called, I'll call them so-called, Stand Up to Racism here, because surely anti-Semitism and racism are kind of the same thing. You would think that they would be here, standing here with you shoulder to shoulder. What's your opinion on that?
Of course, there's a lot of sort of people have more than a foot in more than one camp. I mean, you know, I've been on Stop the Hate rallies. I've been on the Unite the Kingdom rallies, because I don't think that's a far right that's a far right gathering either. It's just people who are very patriotic and want to stand up for their country in the same way that everyone wants to stand up for their country.
Yeah, I see we've got lots of far right England or Great Britain flags here.
Yeah. But you see, we really mustn't think like that.
I'm being sarcastic, of course.
You're being sarcastic. You're being tongue-in-cheek about it. Well,
of course, absolutely.
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry if I
No.
was sensitive to that, but it is outrageous that if you fly the Union flag like I am.
In Great Britain.
In Great Britain, in our country, you're a far right. As if if I was French and I flew the tricolour in Paris, people would be applauding me. They wouldn't sort of say, "Oh, you're a fascist." I mean, it's just madness. And of course, in some countries, like America with their stars and stripes, it's actually illegal to disrespect the American flag.
Yeah.
But here you can, it's. I don't know what's happening.
Actually, on the American subway, every carriage has the stars and stripes on every single carriage, and of course they don't get called flag shaggers as we get called here, flag shaggers and all sorts.
No.
I think what I see from the Stand Up to Racism camp is very much people saying that they want to stand up for asylum seekers, and they seem to forget that actually they keep talking about 1948 and what happened in Israel, but surely someone's memory's gone awry, because what happened in 1948 was a hell of a lot of asylum seekers coming to Israel.
Yes,
so
indeed.
are we standing up for asylum seekers, or are we not standing up for asylum seekers, or is it now we don't stand up for those asylum seekers because we don't like them because they're Jewish?
I mean, the thing is, the opinions of the far left, like the Green Party.
You're only allowed that opinion, by the way. You're not allowed to have any other opinion.
I mean, they're so contradictory. I mean, you have so much contradiction in parts of the left wing. I mean, of course, mostly the fact that they stand up for Hamas and Hezbollah, and you have Queers for Palestine. You have trans rights for Islam, and of course, they don't. And the feminists. Have you ever heard a feminist stand up for Israel? That was, unless they're a Jewish feminist. I mean, there's so much contradiction in it, and it's the same thing when they talk about Zionism, and which purely is the right of the Jewish people to self-determination in a sovereign state. They don't see that any other, or every person who says I'm French, or they declare a nationality, every one of them believes in the principle that their Frenchness, their Germanness, their belonging to Lebanon, Syria, Iran means that they belong to a group which has a right to self-determination within their own national borders. But for some reason, that doesn't apply to Israel. When it comes to Israel, that's evil Zionism. And, of course, I'm being ironic now, we're not anti-Jewish, we're just anti-Zionist, but forget
the word
that.
Zionism literally means the right to have a Jewish state.
And of course, and people get very surprised when this Jewish, it's just for the Jews. No, it's not just for the Jews, because 1 in 5 Israeli citizens is an Arab Muslim. And
is it true that so some reports I've seen online say that there are Arab judges, Arab lawyers in Israel, because the accusation is that it's an apartheid state?
Well, there is an Arab party, Israeli Arab party in the Knesset. I don't know whether you know this, but the Prime Minister and the President of Israel, was once sent to prison for corruption many years ago, and I should know their name, but I can't recall it. They were sent to prison by the Supreme Court of Israel, and the Supreme Judge in the Supreme Court was an Israeli Arab Muslim. Israeli Arab Muslims are fully represented in universities. You see this going.
Well, we've got some abuse coming
We're
now.
a little bit distracted there. But
right.
I mean, no, you're quite right. Arab Israelis are fully represented within Israel. They're not. There is no apartheid within Israel. I don't know where that accusation comes from.
It's very popular to say it, and of course, if you say anything else, you're a deluded Zionist.
Well, these accusations against Israel only stand up if you have a new definition for apartheid. because what they say as well, the Arabs in the West Bank, the Arabs in Gaza don't have the rights of Israelis, but they're not Israeli citizens any more than I have full citizen rights if I go to France or Germany or America. I don't have full citizen rights because I'm not one of their citizens. That doesn't make it an apartheid state. It's the same with genocide. The target casualty rate for genocide is 100%. When the Jews came off the trains at Auschwitz, they didn't say, "Oh, well, let's kill 5% of them." The idea was to kill 100% of them, and that's the aim of genocide. The casualty rate amongst civilians in the Gaza war was less than 2%. So that is not genocide. It's only genocide if you redefine the term. And you'll find, if you wait here long enough, you'll find people shouting out apartheid state, genocide, baby killers.
Where does this come from? I mean, what's what's behind it? What's the reason for them saying, you're a baby killer?
What's behind it is I forget what the psychological term is, but it's when you project your own failings onto your enemy. So, for example, the real people who are behind genocide, who asked for genocide, who in their charter call for the genocide of Jews worldwide, is Hamas, Islamic extremists, not Muslims.
I noticed most of the Free Palestine people don't mention Hamas. It's almost like it seems like they support it under the carpet, but don't really want to publicly say it.
Islamic extremism, by which I mean the call for a worldwide caliphate through jihad, through violent jihad. It calls for the genocide of Jewish people. Now, that is not Islam. The religion of Islam, that is political Islamism, the extremists, the Hamas, the Ayatollahs of Iran, the Hezbollah, the Al-Qaeda, ISIS. These are the real extremists, and they've done a great job. There's no question that the Islamic extremism has won the propaganda war. Israel has lost the propaganda war. These accusations are that there's a lady here shaking her head. So I'd like to know what part of it you disagree with.
Would you like to have a chat? Would you like to have a chat and explain your point of view?
Be precise. This is typical.
Oh, she doesn't want to talk.
This is typical.
Do you want to come and talk?
They always walk away. They always walk away. She'll only walk away.
Come and have a talk to us then.
She won't.
So she doesn't want to have a talk.
Never do. Do you know? Never, ever. They'll start off. They'll come up sort of aggressively.
Yeah.
You're genocide. You're a terrorist state and an apartheid. And I'll say, have you ever been to Israel? Ever walked along the seafront at Tel Aviv and seen? Is there any evidence of apartheid? If you're on the seafront at Tel Aviv and you see a young man walking towards you, you don't know whether that young man is an Israeli Jew or an Israeli Arab. They look exactly the same.
Yeah, of course.
And they're all intermingling. The only way you know, for example, if the women are Muslims rather than Jews, is the fact that they're wearing scarves. Although a lot of Jewish women wear scarves. But there really is no apartheid in Israel. I'm not trying to make it out to be a paradise. We know that there are extremists in Israel, though Smotrich and Ben Gvir.
Sorry, Mark, I just dropped my microphone.
Yes, you all right?
Got it. So, I mean, maybe the accusation comes from the fact that there's been, obviously, after post 7/7, a lot of people will say that Israel's gone too far. They've been excessive in their response to what's happened on the 7th of October. Martin, don't do that, please. What's your response to that?
Well, I think we'd only have to draw a parallel with our own country. If you took the casualty rate on October the 7th in Israel, I think it was about 12 to 1,500 people dead. And a population of 10 million, I mean, that would make an incursion into our country where you had 9,000 or 10,000 British civilians slaughtered, raped, murdered, children barbarically, and then what would we do about it? What would we do?
Well, there's also an accusation that some of the things that were said about Hamas are simply not true, or that it's been fabricated. Is there any I mean, is there anything to back up the fact that it did happen?
Well, I think you only need to go to the Nova exhibition, which is currently on in London.
Okay.
And also, you only have to look at the Hamas's own videos to see the destruction and death they did. We've all seen the video of that poor girl being dragged into a car, and she's got blood around her.
Oh yeah, they seem to be quite proud of that, didn't they, initially?
And you know, and the body of this young, I think it was a German Jewish girl who was naked, paraded in the streets of Gaza. You know, I mean, it's awful. It's even awful relating it here now. It's just, but I mean, yes, you can talk about. I mean, there are always going to be conspiracy theorists, false flag, you know, but it happened. And I don't think Israel overreacted. In a factual fact, Israel, in one respect, did what Iran and the Hamas wanted. They went in and they attacked Hamas, and so that they could win the propaganda war. Hamas could win the propaganda war.
We were talking about the propaganda war. Hamas said for a very, very long time that there were no tunnels, and that it was pure fabrication and nonsense from Israel. They were lying. So in terms of propaganda, the credibility war, who's winning the credibility war?
Well, I mean, you know, the obvious answer is that Hamas were lying. There are tunnels. October the 7th.
Extensive tunnel, 350 miles of tunnels.
Incredible. We've seen it. But you try persuading people here of this. And so when you say who's winning the propaganda war, I'm afraid that it's I don't want to say Hamas, but certainly the left wing is winning the propaganda war.
The propaganda war is won by the people who believe it, not necessarily the truth. So if people are believing it, then they're winning the propaganda war.
I've got lots of friends who have been my friends for many years and will remain my friends, but you know, they believe what they hear on the BBC, on Sky News, and I'm afraid, you know, and you take someone like Jeremy Bowen. I mean, he is blatantly anti-Israel.
Well, actually, you mentioned the BBC, and the BBC were putting out a documentary about Hamas, what was going on in Gaza, and they pulled it at the last minute, not because it was found to be biased, but they were exposed as being deliberately biased.
That's right.
And it was pulled. So for me, the credibility war has long since been lost by the Hamas and the Hamas supporters, and what I think is a shame. The credibility war, the propaganda war, I think they're winning the propaganda war, but again, propaganda is what people believe. Credibility is whether you've actually got honesty and integrity in your reporting. So
when you define it like that, then clearly I agree with you. They've lost the credibility war. But again, to agree with you and what I said earlier, the propaganda war, I'm afraid, the Islamic extremism have won it hands down. You only have to look at the good citizens of Brighton who come past here and, as I've said before, shout out apartheid state.
I think the people that are on the Free Palestine side do it from a good place. I think in their hearts they believe that, you know, Israel is oppressing the Palestinian people, if you want to call them the Palestinian people. I don't think they come from a bad place, but I think you're right in the terms that a lot of people have been propagandized, and they're now refusing to see anything from the other side, because I've made my mind up. I'm not interested. As we saw with that lady, we tried to have a debate with her. She was just clearly not interested. She wanted to shout her opinion and wasn't interested in engaging in a debate.
But what I don't understand about people like that lady, and she is typical, she's not atypical, that is exactly what happens, is the fact that they're not interested in facts. I mean, she doesn't want to. She heard me saying all of that, and
she could have come in and said, actually, you're wrong because X, Y, Z.
But there's not one thing that I said that I couldn't back up. I mean, she could persuade me of a new fact that I'm not aware of, where I could say, well, I didn't know that, and that does happen.
This is the thing. I think if you go into something with an open mind, you know, you're more likely to get to the truth. And I think that's what we're trying to do, is just, you know, have an open mind on everything, not have a fixed opinion, and be willing to to listen to the other side. And of course, if your facts stand up, the facts will speak for themselves. You know, you can't weaponise the truth. The truth is the truth.
The reason why I was sort of chuckling a bit when you spoke there, just because something came into my head. A few months back, I was over in Eastbourne countering a pro-Palestine, the PSC, the Palestinian Solidarity Campaign.
I'm going to have to wrap it up in a minute. That's all right. Sorry.
And I was talking to a lady, and I was talking about the history, and I went on the history, and she said, "The trouble is with you, you just quote in history all the time. It's all about facts." And
that's a joke, isn't it?
It's a joke.
Oh,
I mean,
my goodness.
you know, feelings beat facts, and that's the problem amongst the general population here. I shouldn't talk down to my fellow burghers of Brighton, but honestly, it is very poor. What are we here?
Well, it's the sorry state we've got into where we can't just have a conversation with each other and actually come to some middle ground. Anyway, it was lovely talking to you. My name's Kingsley. Is it on the Sarah Whitehead channel? Sarah Whitehead's the cameraman today.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye bye.